Living legends are reaching me, sharing knowledge with you and me, teaching us how to lead with Sharon Lee. Sharon Lee. Sharon Lee. On the run. Sharon Lee. Sharon Lee. On the run. Yeah. Keep on building that synergy. One blood that is on you and me. Keep on building that synergy. One blood that is on you and me. Keep on building that synergy. One blood that is on you and me. Keep on building that synergy. One blood that is on you and me.
Hey everyone, Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday, hi everyone, happy Friday, happy Veterans Day, happy Veterans Day to all of the military ones, retired, the ones in service. Guys, today is your day. I know it's rainy outside in some places, but today is your day. And we want to honor you. We want to remember you. We want to respect you. We want you to share your story about what it meant for you to be in the military fighting for your country. So I'm following you all over there on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, just following all your beautiful pictures of you in the military. We honor you and we respect you. Welcome to the 21st, that's right, 21st Sharon Lee Briefing Podcast Show. This is going to be an exciting show today. We're going to be talking about, guys, how we got started. Hello, everyone. I see someone saying, I love your energy. Thank you. I love being this way because Fridays are like, honestly, my best days of the week. Always have been. But yeah, so we're going to be, this show is going to be about just remembering, guys, remembering those who gave up their time, gave up their story, gave up their passion to share with us over the last few months on our new podcast show, again called Sharon Lee Briefing Podcast Show. I always like to thank our production team. Chris, Glenn, who's our Only Greatness Media Production, man, I tell you, she does this thing. And Chris has been rocking and rolling with us from day one. Always making sure that we're on point, on time. I want to thank you, Chris, for always being professional, showing up professional. That is my girl, Joyce, National President for American Mothers. I can't wait to show the legacy gift that was given to me by you, Joyce. Thank you for showing up. I love my energy is the way it is because of people like you. You helped me find my voice. You engaged me over the years. You helped me build up my confidence. So now I'm able to share my story and, most importantly, connect with others to have them share their story as well. So I also want to thank my nephew, Sean Parker, who did all of the lighting. Guys, I look all professional because of Sean, and no other than his wife, Dana Parker, for doing the theme song for us. Lisa Dutt Washington, she's doing her thing out there. I hope she's able to at least, comment today about her upcoming events. Lisa's always been supportive of my organization, Rosa. Always being the MC, sharing the information. As I like to say, I call her the Share the Shine Queen. So she's always sharing the platform. So I want to thank her for being a direct sponsor sometimes and an indirect sponsor. So our podcast, thank you, sweetheart Joyce. Our podcast topic for today is green room magic. Guys, let me tell you something. Let me just tell you something. You know what? No, I'm not even going to tell you. I'm just going to just show you. I want you all to look at the expressions of all of the podcast guests who have come on since, I would say, July, because we launched on June 24th. Look at their expressions behind the scenes as they shared their story, their legacy story, as they talked about their on the run story, as they saw the pictures or the videos that we pulled together to tell their legacy, family's legacy. That's a piece, that's a legacy piece that they can now share with their family for decades and centuries to come. So I just want, them to be able to just know that we reached out to them because we saw the value in what they were doing in the community. And we're just going to talk about them now. So guys, I hope y'all enjoy this green room magic, talking about, girl magic, mom magic, women magic, men magic, everybody magic. It's all about us all, guys. And I cannot wait to show this production. So we're going to have our engineer, Chris, show us our green room magic video production. Right. Guys, let me tell you the joy behind the scenes after each podcast guest has shared their on the run story, after they seen their video production that was captured of them, I tell you, they would be laughing, they would be crying, they would be in so much of appreciation. We would be laughing, me and Chris behind the scenes, we would be crying, and it's just so much because who knew that, one opportunity to use a phrase on the run would yield so much healing in people, not only for them, but also to help people be free to tell their story so that they can, overcome it and move on and do the great things they want to do. With that being said, I want to bring Chris in because Chris and I are going to have a dialogue about the green room. I want to also, while she's coming in, I want to, just congratulate and thank Patricia Watts, who was our podcast guest for episode 20. I know you are, hopefully you remember, she has 22 or had 22 years in the Army, retired, a professional, in technology at the top of her game in the federal government, at the State Department. I want to also, give honors to Jennifer Foxworthy, who had, I believe, 21.7, she said, 21.7 years in the Navy. So happy Veterans Day to them too. I know some more of our podcast guests either had family members in the military and they've even shared that. But again, if you all are watching, feel free to please, put what branch of the military that you were in or your family was in, because today is about remembering and today is about honoring you for several reasons. And we're going to get into all of those reasons in this wonderful hour. So Chris, I just want to, get your perspective on what has the green room magic meant to you. I think you're on mute, Chris.
First of all, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to experience the Shirley Briefing podcast firsthand, up close and personal. So every week that we had the show, being in the background allowed me, I had to pay close attention. I had to listen to everybody's stories. And it was just so amazing. I'm going to use your word, the synergy that happened. It was amazing. I would be in the background, like, if y'all could see me, you would be like, okay, she's having a conniption fit. Because everybody that you had on, whether I knew them or not, there was some type of connection and synergy. Mm-hmm. And I just couldn't wait to get to the green room so we could talk about it. I was like, oh my gosh. So that happened for me a lot of times. And it was definitely instrumental in where I am now too. So I thank you. And I thank all of the guests for sharing their stories.
I really appreciate you. Someone put a comment in there. Great video. Thanks for sharing. I enjoyed my time. Okay, wonderful. And I would love to know who that person was. Please share who you are so we can give you shout outs and remember, just talk about you as well. And then someone said, congratulations to Sharon Lee and guests. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you, whoever you are. Again, guys, I probably didn't mention this at the top of the show, but Facebook doesn't always allow us to see the names of people who are commenting. So please put your name in the comments so we can recognize you. But Chris, thank you for sharing that perspective. A friend asked me, if I had to share with people why I'm doing the podcast show, what's the purpose of the podcast show, I simply say to them, you would have to really be in my head 15 years ago. 15 years ago, when I wanted to have a voice in the community to bring people together, to recognize people. Thank you, Sir Charles, for joining, bringing people together for the benefit of the community. But how my approach was, it was just about, like Chris said, synergy. But synergy means to me, guys, is I had to know who I was, where I came from, what's in me, what makes me do what I want to do and makes my family do what they want to do. So I had to share my story. And I want to, before I even get into talking about that, I just want to give a shout out to Marilyn. I want to say congratulations, Marilyn. You all are just, all of you are in Maryland are just absolutely phenomenal. Congratulations to our new governor, a new elect governor, Wes Moore, who's the first African-American governor in the state of Maryland. Guys, that's history by itself without saying another word. If I don't have to say anything other than thank you, God, for allowing me to be living still in Maryland to witness this wonderful, opportunity for all of us to come together, because I know he's going to be that kind of governor. Is he's going to bring us all together, but he lives in Maryland. His legacy is in Maryland. And if I hadn't have did what I did 15 years ago with my organization called Rosa, I don't know if I would even be able to even understand it and appreciate it, but I do. I do, because I know what's needed now in the community. So for those, who want to know why this podcast was produced, it was produced because we got to stay high tech and high touch in these days and times. And COVID almost had us, but we were like, no, you're not going to get us. You're not going to get us. You're not going to get us. We're going to find all kinds of technology ways to tell our story, to have people remember why we're living, who we are, and what we're doing behind the scenes. And that's the reason for this podcast show. That's the reason for, me coming up with the On the Run story. We've been running from a lot, guys, for years. And COVID made it where we couldn't run no more. We had to stop running and sit back and think about who we are, what the value is of our story, and how we're going to lead the next generation, the elders, the community, and us collectively. So I just, want to pause right there, because that's the reason behind this podcast show. Granted, the former president for the Maryland Association of American Mothers, Inc. That's another platform that I use to bring people together. And I'll share more about that organization as well. Former commissioner for the Maryland Commission on African American History and Culture, using that platform with what I'm passionate about, which is history, to bring people together. Former president for the Blacks in Government, Robert C. Weaver chapter at HUD. All of these platforms, guys, I'm sharing it with you because I had to get involved. I did not say I want to be a part of one thing. Okay, I got involved in so much, but I got involved in a leadership capacity so that I could, one, develop myself, two, hope to develop others, and three, encourage the next generation to do exactly what we professionals are doing 24/7. Now, that's the reason I'm sticking to it. There's nothing you can do about it. Okay. So, Chris, I want to talk about a few of the podcast guests we've had. And my, I'm a baby boomer, and you're a millennial, so you're gonna have to help me out. I can go on memory to a certain degree, but I can't remember everybody. But
Okay.
we've had 19 official guests, and those 19 guests were all over the country. Okay, from, I guess, Canada. They were from
Puerto Rico,
Florida,
yeah,
Maryland,
Ohio,
DC, Ohio, all over the country, guys.
yeah,
All over the country. We decided that we could have a conversation and talk about legacy. What does legacy means, and not only what it means, what we're going to do with it, guys. What are we going to do with it as we move forward in 2023? How are we going to collectively come back together to help make things better for the community at large? So, Chris, I can go backwards because that's where my mind works, but I can talk about, Patricia Watts, who, came and shared her story last Friday. I can talk about, Jennifer Foxworthy, who shared her story. Crystal Bately, who shared her story. Cynthia Green, who shared her story. Sylvia Tremore Morrison, Dr. Sylvia Tremore Morrison, who was our first guest, who is the first African-American, or I think the only African-American female impressionist who shared her story. Dr. Kanae Black, Reggie Braxton.
Yay.
Like, so many of them was like, Sharon, you want to know my on the run story? Do I even have an on the run story? Well, yes, guess what? They all had an on the run story. And I believe they healed in so many ways because of them sharing that. And they helped others who were watching the show heal as well. What did you think about that, Chris?
Absolutely. A lot of those stories, the on the run stories, were like journeys of finding their selves, finding
Mhm.
their true, authentic selves. And I think that that really resonated with me. Like, just for instance, I had so much in common with Reggie. That one was fun for me because he had a media background and he did all these great things. Um, and then like you mentioned, Dr. Kanae Black, her, we seemed like soul sisters. It felt like we were soul sisters because her story was so um, parallel to mine, and how she like transitioned through her story helped me figure out, it's like, oh, it was like the light in her shine bright so I could help, discover more about myself. So and then Eli, oh, that was one of my favorite ones as well because my son's name is Eli. And so
Wow.
the synergy in these stories were on their on the run stories and what they meant for them, and how transparent and authentic they were, um, really helped. And it was so funny because when Reggie was on, he said, "I'm not on the run," but it's like, because it's like, I'm not running, I was running too. But
Right.
it still meant that you were moving towards something. You were moving towards greater in your life,
Well,
and
let me
that resonated.
absolutely. Let me just tell you something. I know each one of these people, and each one of them are professional. They're professional. And to hear you say what you're saying about they still have doubt within themselves about whatever, it's like, wow, if they're professionals and have doubts, how many others who haven't even reached their caliber is sitting back because they don't feel that they're worthy or that they can, compete, if you will, to birth their gifts and skills. So just to share with you, one thing that I got out of all of the interviews, the joy for me was spending hours putting together the video productions, the stories. I mean, they of course shared pictures, and I said, look, send me some captions so I can know who you are. So I'm learning about them, they're learning about us, and we're educating the world about who they are. So that's in direct alignment with my organization, Rosa. When I said if would have to have been there 15 years ago, 15 years ago, right here in Clinton, Maryland, where my podcast show is being hosted. I had some wonderful people come in my home and say, Sharon, I want to work with you to do something. And I'm like, well, me, why? Okay, I'm busy. I'm working my 9 to 5. I don't have time, but I had to make time. And 15 years ago, I decided, okay, if I can put on one event, I can do anything. So I put on one event that took a lot of planning. And after I put that event on, which was the actual launch of the Roses platform back in 2008, 15 years ago, guys, I took on that mindset. If I can do that one event, I can do other things to bring people together for the benefit of us all. And I truly hope that you all have received Rosa over the years, that somebody may say, but what has Rosa done for us lately? Guys, Rosa do a lot behind the scenes, okay? We share half of the stuff of what Rosa does behind the scenes. We are generational growth around here. We work with the next generation. We work with current professionals, and we work with our elders. And what do? We do exactly what we do on this podcast show. We bring y'all together, okay? And we share your story in hoping that you have something in common where you can support one another for the benefit of your platform, your family, and your community. Guys, it's a lot of work. But if you know who you are, if you know whose you are, and if you know where you're going, it's not hard work. It's work that's joyful work. And I thank God for giving me a great team with people like Chris, with great people like Lisa Dove Washington, Tanique Parker, Sir Charles Carey, so many, Wakila Cannon, Latifah Cannon, so Trayvon, Frith, so many young people, Taylor Price, just so many. I think her name is Crystal. Of course, Tara is always on our team, but it's another young lady named Crystal Smith, who she just got married, who's always been there, just learning from us. And that's what it's all about. American mothers. I cannot speak enough about American mothers. Got involved with them back in 2012. Can someone say a power of 10? 10 years this year, guys. 10 years. Got involved, decided I wanted to stay in the organization to create a chapter here in Maryland, was able to create that chapter here or association here in Maryland, and was able to bring on mothers, recognizing them, Mother of the Year with the team, Ebony Banks, Lavinia Banks, of course, Maria Thorpe, who's our new president for the Maryland Association of American Mothers. We've recognized so many people. Why am I sharing this, guys? I'm sharing this because this is all, when we share our story, when we talk about our platforms, you got to be creative and collaborate with people. Blacks in government, can't say enough about Blacks in government. American Mother was created, that's right, Joyce, 90 years ago, guys. 90 years ago, back in 1935 in New York. And they're going to be celebrating their 88th convention in, now let me get it right, Omaha, Omaha, Nebraska is where they're going to be celebrating their 80th convention. And yes, I'm going to be there supporting American mothers. I can't wait for you all to see, again, a gift that they blessed me with. Joyce and a couple board members from American Mothers came to Virginia, Dion Taylor, Lindsay, also Yolanda Perez. They came to Virginia and we got together, the moms in the DMV. And thanks for sharing that link, Chris, that we got together, had dinner, and we talked about what we're going to be doing in 2023 and also the rest of 2022. Guys, if you got in Maryland, if you put your name in the hat for the Maryland 2023 Mother of the Year, your portfolios are due by the 15th of this month. You got to go on the American Mother's website, fill out the portfolio, get 2 letters of recommendation. And guys, we want you in the hat. We know who you are. We got your names. We're not going to share it yet, but Maria has reached out to you and she'll be giving you more information. But I just wanted to share that with everybody. The Maryland Commission on African American History and Culture. Well, let me step back a little bit. I was talking to Deanne Taylor. And she, of course, was in town. And she said, Sharon, we re-aired your podcast with us, Moms to Mom podcast. And I found out just yesterday, guys, literally just yesterday, they aired it on Tuesday on election day. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm in training, had no idea that it was being replayed on the national platform. I just want to thank Deanne for telling me that. I want to thank Joyce for, allowing that major platform to be on their platform as well. Guys, that was my first podcast show that I ever did, and they replayed it. So kudos to, the team for doing a good job, because I was nervous, but I got through it. But thank you for replaying that. Again, guys, why am I sharing this? Collaboration is everything. Having the right skill sets to collaborate is everything. Having the purpose and the passion to serve and give back to people is everything. And that's, again, another reason for this podcast. So, Chris, I want to get from you. You have some platforms too that you share. I want people to know everything Crystal Glenn, everything. Okay. So what are you doing in the community, and how can people collaborate with you as well?
Well, thank you again. I do a lot, but this has become something that I do. Of course, I have OG Media Production, which stands for Only Greatness Media Production. And I will say that I've been around for 9 years now.
Awesome.
God gave me the name Only Greatness because he said there's nothing mediocre about you. So it's Only Greatness. And it has come to now a time where I'm producing podcasts such as yourself. I'm engineering. I'm going to start working with the Community Action Agency for the county to produce their podcast. So that's really exciting. Because my heart really is in community and to give back to the community. That's what I do with everything that I do. So Only Greatness Media Production, I do videography. I do the engineering, live stream engineering and video production. And then I have my own podcast as well, Introducing, which will be coming back in the new year, where I introduce you to new people, new things, and new ways of thinking. and that has really opened me up, and it has given me a new outlook on life, and as I branch into some other things into my own personal life, getting into speaking and becoming an author. So it's a really exciting time for me. And then of course I assist. I have my friend who engineered when I wasn't able to Carib. We do
Yeah.
a lot of work in the community. We also have a collective of women called Black Women Connecting Communities, and we do a lot. We're actually gearing up for our basket of cheer that she's been doing for, I think it's been 9 years now.
Yeah.
Okay, this power of nine,
Yes.
um, 9 years where we give food baskets to people in need, families in need across the DMV. You sign up and we help you out. So that has been going on for a very long time, and that's it. And then really being a mom now, I really have taken the time to be present in my kids' life. I homeschool my kids, and because I'm an entrepreneur and I can work from home, and it gives me the opportunity to really love up on them and to instill things in them that will prepare them better for the world moving forward. So those are the things I do that I take joy in. And
And
you can find me on social media on IG. I've been doing that a lot lately, and it's been great. But I'm all about being my authentic self. I have, I actually, oh goodness, I just started to a group coaching session with four
mm,
ladies, and it's called Do the Work, Keep the Faith group coaching session, where I'm just sharing information that I have with them in hopes of, guiding each one through becoming their authentic selves.
and that's what it's all about, Chris.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. And I appreciate you. And guys, for you all out there that's listening, we're talking. You're looking at two different generations. Okay, on this line, I'm a baby boomer. Chris is a millennial. Her little daughter behind her, which I love her to life and everything, she's going to be phenomenal. And this is why we're doing what we're doing, because we're not just thinking about the here and now. We're trying to connect with all generations. And it starts with people hearing about your story. So, Chris, if you could do me a favor, I'm going to, American Mothers gave a gift to me when they came to Virginia. And if you could bring up that flyer or that picture, guys, I want, if for those who are there are listening and engaged, I'm going to give you a gift if you could remember what year I mentioned that American Mothers was established. If you can remember, keep that up there for a second, Chris. What year American Mothers was established, I am going to give your gift. What the gift is going to be is a seat at the third season of the Leading Within through Project Management coaching program. Okay, that's going to be held here in Maryland. So, what year was American Mothers established in New York? So, while you're thinking about that, in this picture, there's a stamp. Okay, it says "Love You, Mother." Now, I tell you, American Mothers, I just can't thank you enough for that legacy gift. This stamp was established back in, or created back in 1987, guys. 1987. I think April the 20th, 1987. Guys, guess what? I started working at HUD, okay, on March 20th, 1987. That is absolutely the absolute 100% truth. And I'm telling you guys, when I got the history on this stamp from Dan, I said, God, look at you. They did not have to say, Sharon, I want you to have this stamp. It's a picture of it, guys, and I have it in my home, and I just wanted to share it with you because it just goes to show that if you work hard and you really pour into people that you have what you have in common with and you're passionate with them, they're going to look out for you and they're going to support you. So I'm going to send everyone, there's a link I'm going to put in the chat for you to go and read about this stamp. Okay, I want you to read about the significance of this stamp and how much history that you all should know about as it relates to mothers. So I'm putting it in the chat now, and Chris, let me know when it shows up so that they can see it. But guys, this is what it's all about. Working with women, mothers, girls, the families, sharing, your story and being about, just bringing people together. So Joyce, thank you for that gift. Dan, thank you for the history lesson. Okay. I did not know. Thank you for the history lesson. And Yolanda, thank you for also being there, just to be a part of this process. You all got a chance to meet some of the Maryland Association executive members that was established. We just got a new board, and I'm just excited about them. So thank you just for meeting us and opening up for us. So I'm looking for the answer in the chat. What year was the American Mothers established in New York? While you all are thinking about that, you're very well. Thank you, George, for saying you're welcome. I appreciate you. I want to also now share something happened in Maryland, guys, on November the 6th. And it was with one of our podcast guests. She was the 5th podcast guest. Now, guys, y'all know me for my power of 5. You know me for my power of 5. My power of 5 is everything. It means grace from God, and it means God giving you power to do what you do. So I always promote the power of 5. This year, that's right, 2022 is the 5th year of my book. Thank you, Joyce. It's the 5th year. Oh, wait a minute. Who is someone said best on Sharon? Who's you better put your name in there, little niece or nephew, whoever you are. Put your name so I can know who's talking to me. I love when my family jump on. But this year, and you came on at a perfect time. This is the 5th year of me writing my book, True Synergy Work, Leading Within, the 7 defining principles of knowing yourself to birth greatness. Guys, I'm getting ready to be on book 2, but I cannot get past book 1 until everyone understands how important that platform is. True synergy work, leading within, is everything, because I use it and I brand it in everything that I do. It's my mindset. It's how I show up in life and how I like to inspire the next generation, our adults and our elders, to operate as well. Leading within is everything. So on November 6th, I was blessed to go to an event in Woodmore, Maryland, hosted by the Sisters for Sisters Network, Inc. It was their 20th, guys, 20th anniversary here in Maryland. Now, I already told you that, mine was, Roses have been in existence for 15 years. I told you that our podcast guest was number 5, right? She was the 5th podcast guest. Check this out. So 15 and 5 is 20. 20th anniversary, okay, in Woodmore. I get honored with a Community Star Legacy Award on November the 6th. Unexpectedly, because I'm like, I know Miss Peggy, I know what she has done in the community, but to get honored from someone of her caliber, it speaks volumes. So it just goes to show me that all of the work that myself, my board members, and my team has done over the years have not gone in vain. People have been looking at us. They have been following us. And I'm going to tell you, these are the words out of Peggy's mouth. Miss Peggy Morris. She says, Sharon and other honorees, they get it. They get what the community need. And I'm not bragging. I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm just saying that I see the kind of work that our ancestors did back in the day. And I've seen people in the community who gets what it takes to bring people together. And that's what makes, other people that's been in the servicing field, the community service or servant leaders, I get when they say they get it, because we work at it. We work to promote our mission. We work to promote our goals, our objectives, our programs. We work hard, guys, to let you all know that we have tools, products, and services that we know you can benefit from. So I want to officially, again, thank Miss Peggy Morris, for honoring me at their 20th anniversary of the Sisters for Sisters Network, Inc., with the Community Star Legacy Award. So, Chris, let's just, jump into some of the other guests that we've had on the show. I don't, if you, can you bring up those flyers? I know I put a flyer where we have all of the podcast guests side by side. Can you bring them up? Because I want to shout them out personally, individually. There we go. I need this. Okay. I need you all to take a picture of this. Okay. I need you to do a phone, snap it on your phone or do something just like I'm doing. But these are some people who you need to get to know. Chris, Tara, Clarence, Miss Robin Robinson, Miss Gant, Miss Bernard, Elderly, Kimberly Taylor, um, Ellen Bryant Waters. Of course, she's one of the news cast person on Great Day Washington, WUSA Channel 9. We love her. She's always been supportive of myself, Rosa, and of the platforms that we support. Again, Miss Chris Bately, Jennifer Foxworthy, Patricia Watts, Dr. Sylvia Tremore Morrison, my homegirl, Benita Gross, Ricky Burley, Peggy. You can see where I share, she was the 5th podcast guest, Dr. Dr. Kanae Black, Reggie Braxton, Lisa Dove Washington, Cynthia Green, Annetta, from Canada, and Eli. Guys, I want to officially say thank you for making Sharon Lee Briefing podcast show a success. It wouldn't have been possible without you. Thank you for believing in Chris and I. Thank you for sharing your on the run story. Thank you for sharing your legacy that will now be seen all over the world. All people have to do is go to the Leading Within with Sharon Lee. I got so many platforms, I love it. But Leading Within with Sharon Lee, that is my YouTube platform. Go to that platform, copy the link, and you can listen to all of the previous podcast show. If you're my friend on Facebook, and you want to be a part of the Sharon Lee Briefing Facebook group, you can just search it up. Just search Sharon Lee Briefing. It'll come up. It'll ask, if you want to join the group, you have to send me an actual invite. I will accept you if you're interested in being a part to learn about more of our legacy guests. I call them legacy seekers and legacy builders, learning about more that's going to be coming up in the months to come. I am going to take a little break for the holiday, but we do have a guest coming up next Friday. Her name is Dr. Teresa Mosley. Guys, you are going to be blown away. When I say blown away with her story, oh my God, I can't wait for you all to hear her story and see her journey. But thank you, Chris, for sharing that. So I just want to shout out some people over here on Facebook again. Thank you, Joyce Stevens, again, the national president for the National American Mothers Organization. I'm excited about Maryland, right, guys? Thank you, Joyce, for, definitely showing up and giving great kudos to, us. And thank you again for your legacy gift. I want to thank, Sir Charles Carey for showing up and giving a comment and sharing his insight. I want to thank Reba Barnes for showing up and dropping by and just, sharing her insight, and others and I want to thank, I don't know if it's my niece or my nephew, because I don't see anyone putting a name in there, but someone in my family is watching, and I want to thank you all for dropping in and watching this. So, Chris, what we're going to do, we're going to play the video promo that I did, of course, for, just the Sharon Lee Briefing platform. And then we're going to come back and jump into the last part of our Green Room Magic. So yeah, we're gonna just play that video, the promo video that I did for Rosa. We're gonna, yes. So guys, we don't talk about it. We be about it, right? Pictures are worth 1,000 words. And what does that mean? If you're going to be about the community, being a speaker is wonderful. Being a coach is great. Being, a mentor is great, but you gotta get out there in the community and connect the dots and build relationship with people. People gotta see you in their face, constantly, guys, not jump in and jump out, constantly working with them to share what you have to offer them. And why do I know this? Because I tell you, when I started the Rosa's Youth Empowerment Series back in 2012, I had no idea that we were going to be in the Francis L. Cardoza Educational Campus headquarters in Washington, D.C., teaching DC children about STEM, how to fly planes. Really? Who knew? Had no idea that we were going to move from there and go to the National Congress of Black Women headquarters in Washington, D.C. for at least 3 years, connecting young people with established professionals who are running their own organization, like Dr. Ife Williams and others, that she worked with all over the country, working with schools like Crofton High School. I'm going down to my alma mater, my high school in Calvert County, teaching young people about project management. Who knew when I call it RISE, Rosa Youth Empowerment Series, when that was established, that we were going to take that path? We took that. I'm glad we did, because we stayed committed to the process. Who knew that Rosa's Roadmap to Self program would be created? That is a program where we tell elder story. If you're 70 and older, we tell your story, because that's part of legacy. Who knew that we would be sharing it in the manner that we're sharing it today? Conferences, workshops, podcasts, right? On social media platforms. Who knew? I tell you who knew. He knew, okay? Because he knew that we had to get out of our own way and just stop letting other people feed stuff in our head and make things happen. And the only way you can make things happen is you got to have those skill sets, guys. You got to have that communication skills. You got to have that, team building skills. You got to have that organization skills, collaboration skills. You got to be high tech and high touch. You got to know how to collaborate with people and share your gifts freely, guys, a lot of times, because sometimes the young people can't afford it. And they need to know that you care about them. To give up your time like we give up our time here for Rosa and American Mothers and other organizations, just know that we want you to do the same. Chris works with all kinds of organizations. Her and Tara have been doing it for years. They give back to platforms who are giving back to the community. And Chris, if you want to share a few, please do.
Oh, well, you speak of Sisters for Sisters networking, and I was in my 20s. I was a young pup in my 20s when I met Miss Peggy Morris, and she was just getting started with Sisters for Sisters. It probably was a year or two old. So, I've seen her grow. So that's one organization. Like I said, United Communities Against Poverty, which is the community action agency, and they have some great leadership over there, and they're really trying to develop and bring resources to the community. Oh gosh, this is so many. I just can't even. It's just, but the passion really is to be able to give back. I serve veterans, I serve youth, I serve the elderly, I serve the underserved. Period.
Yes.
Because you don't have to necessarily fall into any type of circumstance to be in need. You don't have. There's no prescription for what that looks like. I've helped people. I've done domestic violence. I've done it's so many things, and the amazement of it is just that really showing up authentically, like you said, to show up. When you show up, and that's what really makes the impact. Even if it's one or two people. I've been in many places, and it'd be one or two people, and I always say, this is who it's for, because God knew, like you said, God knows who you got. He knows.
Exactly.
And he knows who needs it and when they need it. And it's not always about how big it is.
That's
but
right.
It's always about how big impact is, and
That's
that's
right.
always been what I've been
Well,
what
I definitely appreciate you sharing that, because when I met you, Sir Charles Curry introduced me to you and Tyra, and you all, I saw y'all out in the community, young girls, just like, okay, we're gonna be doing videos, we're gonna be doing audios, we're gonna be doing everything to kind of connect with people, and now to see you finding your voice, seeing you share what you do, how you're doing it. I mean, it is so on time, and it is so needed. So I'm glad I can be a vessel to help in any manner that you may need. And if collaborating, if this platform is serving to do that, thank you, God, for that, because that's, again, what synergy is all about. You find out, guys, again, what you have in common with people, and you work for the benefit of them, the community, and their family. Granted, we're going to reap the benefits because we're servant leaders, but we don't have to always be about us. Okay, me. We don't have to be about me. If you're going to talk about me, talk about the platforms you're working on in collaboration with other people, so that they can know that you're about the work and not about the talk. And a lot of times people don't understand why they don't succeed, because they're about to talk and they're not about the work. So we're here to help you birth those gifts. Chris, if you could do me a favor and show the project management coaching flyer that we have in our queue, I want to share with you all this flyer, guys. Believe me, is a resource, is a tool that's needed in every industry all over the country, actually all over the world, because a lot of people don't have those. They're intelligent people. Academically, they're the smartest people on the planet Earth, but they don't have that framework of discipline to understand that it takes 5 phases of birthing anything, 5 phases of birthing projects, programs, tools, services. And those 5 phases are always in alignment with my power of 5, which is initiate, plan, execute, monitoring and controlling, and then closing out that task or that deliverable or that project and moving on to something new. Back in 2019, when I realized I hit the jackpot with this, when I realized that I could use my leading within mindset to help people birth projects and tools, I said, let me put it to a test. Let me bring on some people. I'm just going to gift them a seat in the room. Okay. And I gifted 5 people a seat in the room, and they were like, whoa, this process is so daggone needed. And just know that I'm on my 3rd season. And again, I shared with everyone, if you could guess the year that American Mothers was established, you would win a seat at the graduation class, which is going to be held in February 2023, at the next round of what I call leading within through project management, participants. They're taking the program. They're becoming confident in their, mindset. They're becoming confident in finding their voice. They're beginning to understand what it takes to work in a team environment. Most importantly, how to think about what's in their head and how to birth it out and implement it successfully. Not, just want to throw something out there. They're going to implement projects, programs, and tools successfully. You want to go to www.themakingofyou.com. Just send me an email. Ms. Parker, I'm interested in learning more about your leading within through project management coaching program. I know my child needs it. I know my grandchild needs it. I know I need it. I know my grandparents need it. I know that we can benefit from this program. So go to, again, thank you, Chris, for putting it up there, www.themakingofyou.com. Just go to the join our page. It'll send me automatically an email, and I will get you involved. Chris is one of those wonderful participants this year. She's going to be birthing a project, and I can't wait for you all to see what her project is going to be. I am so excited for her for being a part of the program. I'm so excited for Cynthia Lane. I'm excited for Tonda Bean. I'm excited for Latifah Cannon. I'm excited for Shalisa. I can't think of Shalisa's last name. I'm also excited for Cynthia Green, who y'all know is rocking and rolling out there on her platform, but she's birthing more projects as well. I just want to thank all of those who are part of this program, and how you're going to show the world how this platform can be used across the board in our industries. So Chris, what's up next for you? What's happening next for you? Because we got a couple of more minutes and then we'll be done. But again, I just want to celebrate all of the past podcast guests. I want to thank you all. You all made the last few months. You just have no idea. You just made my days, because to be able to share your story meant so much to me, because it's in direct alignment with what we do here at Rosa. And the key word is remember. We will remember your story.
That's
We will share your story with the next generation. We will make sure that your history is not forgotten. And that's what Rose is all about. But what's up for you, Chris, coming next?
What's up for me next is a lot of exciting things. Like I said, I really feel like I've kind of closed one chapter, moving into a whole new chapter. Like I said, I'm in the project management course, and I'm birthing a wonderful project that is going to really allow me to step into my filmmaking, uh,
Yes.
my filmmaking shoes. I do have my first DP credits for a documentary that's going to be shown across the country, so I'm very excited about that. So that's kind of what's next for me. It's really kind of stepping into the shoes that I have been working on for the past 15, 20 years, as I've grown. Like I said, I started this journey as a 20-year-old, 25, and
Yes.
now I'm going into my 40s. And so really honing all those crafts, putting them all together and sharing them with the world, that's what's next for me. So to keep up, you can go on over to Smart Video Girl on IG. That's where a lot of my stuff is, and follow me there. I'm all about positivity. I'm all about mindset. I'm all about being your authentic self, and I'm all about giving God all the glory at this point, because He has been the one to put it all in me and allow me to share it with the world. So that is what's next for me.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. I look forward to supporting you. I look forward to just sharing your journey on our platform as we go forward. But guys, did I mention that for 2023, we're going to be celebrating Rosa's 10th conference, 10th anniversary conference. And guess what? One of our podcast guests, that's right, one of our podcast guests has opened up, a platform in Puerto Rico for us to come and join them for the 10th annual Rosa's Leading Within Conference. So guess what, team? Get ready. Chris is on my team. Tanika's on my team. Wakila's on my team. Cynthia's on my team. But I'm bringing together a powerhouse team, because we're not playing. We're going to have fun like this podcast show talks about. We're going to laugh. We're going to learn. We're going to lead. But most importantly, guys, we're going to have a much needed getaway. When I tell you I need a much needed getaway, I need a much needed getaway. Okay. So I am honored. Thank you, Reginald Braxton, for opening up this platform for us. Thank you for being a podcast guest on this show. Thank you for just be on the lookout, because you're going to get a call this weekend and we're going to be rocking and rolling with the planning. But guys, Rosa's hosted our first Leading Within conference. At the time, it was called the Unconditional Love Retreat. Didn't we need some unconditional love back in 2013? Don't we need some unconditional love in 2022? Yes, we do. We hosted our 9th annual Leading Within conference in Annapolis, Maryland. That's right, the same place where our governor-elect will be going into the governor's house. We hosted it at the Maggiano's on September 24th. It was phenomenal, and I can't wait to take that same positive, creative, and interactive energy to Puerto Rico. Yes, we need totally unconditional love, Sir Charles, absolutely. I can't wait to take that, and we as a team can't wait to take all of that positive energy to Puerto Rico and just have a good time. So I just want to thank everyone for joining us today. It's 1:00 on the nose. Chris, we finished on time. Okay. It is 1:00
Yes.
on the nose. I want to thank you all for always supporting the Sharon Lee Briefing podcast show. As I mentioned, Go to www.themakingthelletteru.com. Join our platforms. We just talked about a few of them. It's so much, guys, we can share, but we only have an hour. It's so much we've done to stay connected and collaborate with you, the next generation, and also our professionals and our elders. We're not playing here over at Sharon Lee on the Run, Sharon Lee Briefing, Rose's Roadmap to Self, Rose's Unconditional Love, Rose's Leading Within, the Leading Within through project management. When I say that we're not playing. We're making it about you. And we want you to make it about the community, your family first, community, God, and also, those who are in need. A lot of people in need. So
Can
Chris,
I say one thing before I leave? I want to say that I want to thank you and your platform and all that you do, because this year you gave my mom the opportunity to speak and share her story on another platform. I'm going to cry. I always cry. I might have got a Rudolph nose. But that was very healing for her and for us. And you talk about legacy, you did that. And I appreciate you for giving people like her a platform to speak. So thank you.
Thank you. You're going to have me crying over here. I witnessed her story, and I tell you, I'm just so grateful that I met her. I'm grateful that I met your sister, who took a little, she took a road trip. She went West Coast.
She went across the country for months. She left the day of your event. She left that day, and she went across the country and came back in 30 days. She did a whole 30-day trip.
Amazing. And I did share some powerful words with her, and I hope that helped her, of course, stay focused, stay safe, most importantly, through her journey, because I was concerned for her, because I know what was going on in society, and I was hoping that she wouldn't run into any problems. She said it was the best experience she's ever had. She went by herself and did a road trip across the country. So thank you for sharing that. That's really, really powerful. Tell your mom she's definitely loved. We look forward to having her come to Puerto Rico with us. So, start, getting ready. Again, thank you all of the past podcast guests. Thank you, Peggy Morris from Sister for Sisters Network, Inc. Thank you, Joy Stevens from the National American Mothers Organization. Look forward to supporting you as we go forward as well. Guys, look, y'all have a safe Veterans Day. Guess what I'm going to do today? Wakanda all the way, Wakanda forever. Yes, I am going to see the movie Wakanda. It comes out today. I can't wait to see it. I look forward to sharing that with you all. Guys, be safe. Love you. Chris, thank you. Take us on out, and y'all have a wonderful weekend. From Sharon Lee on the Run.
Always. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Synergy, energy, living legends are reaching me. Sharing knowledge with you and me, teaching us how to lead with Sharon Lee.